What is up, everybody? So, first live stream officially from the Brandon Aceto channel, something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Just have a consistent day, time that I go live. And the reason it looks like this, where we are here with my good friend Humberto from Valuetainment.
What's up?
It's because we just ragtagged and putting this thing together for the last few days. Just moved into this place. And
it's going to get better. It will get better.
Oh my God.
So much better.
Yeah, we're starting at the bottom right now. So, it's only up from here. But and the reason we're starting at 11:20 at night is because
Jesus Christ.
like every time we thought that we were just about done, ready to go, we ran into another obstacle. But they'd say the most important thing in life is persistence. So we're gonna talk a little bit about what we got. So we got Michael Cohen, the what's that word? Like the famous word for backstabber, like it starts with the B. You know what I'm talking about?
B?
Yeah, that guy who's like has the famous name was like the backstabber, like the Judas basically. But then there's another one. No?
Betrayal?
Yeah, well, Judas works, but yeah, he's like the Judas of the time because he's
Mike Pence.
Yeah, that's it. So he was Trump's boy for the longest time, and then now he's like testifying against him, saying all this crazy stuff against him. Now he's saying that he encouraged him to do the hush money thing with Stormy Daniels. And also we got a lot of stuff from both sides with Biden saying that stuff's coming out where there's private military companies in Israel right now that work for the US, like from the US, and then simultaneously Biden's hiding intel from Israel to potentially help out Hamas or leverage a peace deal.
Yeah, not only hiding, he is kind of leveraging this information.
Yeah. So simultaneously, he sort of gave the green light for these PMCs to sort of take over the situation in Rafah, and then now he's sort of hiding information from Israel. So are they just like trying to perpetuate the thing? I guess I kind of asked rhetorically because of course they are. But
disgusting.
In addition to that, we got some stuff with EVs that really want to talk about. So there's this crazy chart that we're going to show you later where it shows every EV company absolutely cascading downward over the last 2 years. Yet, of course, our disastrous government, especially in Chicago right now, the Pritzker family is worth $42 billion. They happen to have a governor in Chicago who's a Pritzker, and he just pumped $1 billion into the company Rivian, which has lost 90% of its stock value since it went public. So an example of Wall Street rejecting the product, but the government's still trying to keep it alive. Now, first and foremost, so what do you think, what's your takeaway from this stuff going on with Biden and Hamas and Israel? Do you think it's just as simple as the military industrial complex doing its thing?
I think it's more complicated than that, because once you got that machine started, every time Iraq 1, Iraq 2, Afghanistan, even to a certain extent in Ukraine, like everyone was on board.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, okay, we're gonna go fight this war here in Vietnam, and everyone was like, yeah, let's do it, and they will get the machine running and start printing money and whatsoever. But I think after the pandemic, things government trust is at an all-time low.
Yeah.
So they're having a harder time to keep everyone on the side of the military industrial complex. That's my take on it.
Yeah. Right, of course. I mean, and what degree do you think that it's like Netanyahu who kind of let this thing start because he was worried about getting taken out of power? Because he had some kind of investigation going against him, right up until October
allegedly 7th. He had a court date that same day on October 7th.
Oh, how convenient.
But I don't know. I have a hard time believing that it's strictly related because a lot of things have happened since then. Maybe to get out of the court date, you might fake a heart attack, or maybe fake. I don't know. I think it's out of control.
Well, the nasty thing about it is that a lot of people say that he almost let Hamas exist in order to justify coming down hard on Gaza because it was at that point where they could say, "Oh, a terrorist organization is in control of this place that we wanted to conquer for the last 50 years." So.
But why now? You have a United States, the biggest ally, spread thin in resources, spread thin in troops.
Yeah.
This is probably the worst time to pull this off. I don't know, from a geopolitical standpoint.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean,
could you think of a worse time? Like if this was done like 2018, maybe 2017, where nothing much was going on,
Mhm.
maybe. But right now, like I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I feel like the fact that there's not a strong leader leading the show. Like when Trump was here, America was clearly in charge leading the show and set foreign policy. But with Biden, kind of like other countries could kind of shake things up and lead things the way they want to lead them. So I think Biden's just kind of like sitting on the fence here, and
But right before an election year,
chaos is a ladder. I mean, like you said, if we're under the belief that Trump like creates a more unfavorable situation for them to do this, and I guess of course before an election year, then a lot of people are saying that China's going to do its thing with Taiwan before the election happens, which I don't necessarily believe that. But
I mean, for China, that'd be the best moment.
You think it's even feasible though?
I have such hard time understanding where China is at. Like, because they lie all the time. They lie about their economy. They lie about the everything.
Yeah.
So it's really, I think for people that live inside of China, it's hard to tell.
Well, I mean, I guess part of like what makes me believe that more than I did a day ago is I saw today they spent $750 billion on their military budget in 2022, which I think we thought that the estimates were like around 200 billion or something, because the U.S. is 900. So if China's spending 700 billion just out of nowhere and kept it secret, then what the hell does that mean?
But I don't know. Like I didn't believe the $2 billion dollar spending. I
200?
never.
What, the 200?
Yeah.
You always thought it was higher than that?
Yeah, I always thought it was higher than that. 200 billion for China. Oh, I don't know. Like I never thought that they would be spending less than half of the United States. It makes no sense.
Yeah, but do you think their growth is legit though? Because I mean, it's like kind of like a time bomb the way they let it go, because all their real estate's way overvalued, and then that's like the majority of their GDP is based off their overpriced real estate.
Well, I follow a lot of people that cover China regularly. And things are not going well there. Like
Hell no.
most of the people, expats like Americans, Europeans, and moved there, and they swore by China. They're like, oh, this is such a nice place, and doing English lessons and this and that and business here and business. They all left already.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I think the pandemic hit them really hard.
Yeah, they really haven't gotten like back up and going since then. Like they like a lot of people complain about inflation, but China, they're like freaking out about their deflation, trying to pump money back in the economy, and the price of everything's going down, which is like ironically a bigger problem than the price of things going up. But
it is, I don't know, it's a funny thing. Like I never thought deflation could happen, but it does happen.
The government's more scared of that than inflation.
Oh, 100%. They think that the like 2 points, maybe 3 points of inflation is like a healthy level of an economy.
That means your economy is growing.
That means that the economy is growing and everything. Like having zero inflation is not good, and having deflation, like I don't know, the jury's out. Like if it was any other country, like we could really judge what it does. But that China is such a weird place, how the economy is structured, their culture, everything. It's really hard to tell. And the information we'll get from there is very little. And very confusing. Like
anything could be happening.
Yeah, it's not that you can grab a camera and go interview people on the street. Like, hey, how's inflation treating you? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I can't trust any of the sources. They all have some type of agenda.
Yeah, there's that one source, like the China Morning Post, that was owned by Jack Ma, and then Jack Ma got disappeared.
Has he come back?
No,
nobody knows.
Every time they ask about him, they're like, "Oh, he's resting now."
Wait, this happened like 2 years ago?
Yeah,
and we have no news from the guy.
No,
nothing.
He's like a middle school teacher now or something.
You kidding me?
No.
Why would they make him a middle school teacher?
Humiliate him.
Really?
I think I'll look it up quick, but he's just like somewhere not speaking. So I think they tried making it, because killing him, I don't know if that would make as much of an example as like just like bringing him down and like humbling him and like making everybody say like, holy shit, what'd they tell him?
So they're making an example out of him.
Yeah, big time, because he was kind of like what Elon Musk is, where he was talking out about the Chinese government acting all bold and stuff.
While you look for that, I'm gonna say hi to the chat. We have 44 people online right now.
Okay.
Unannounced. Late crew. We have Laugh With Me. He said about time. You know, you
I
can,
know it is about time. I've been wanting to do this literally for the past 2 years, but haven't had a conducive schedule because I mean, you know, like I'm like I'm an all or nothing person. I've been just firing off videos like whenever, but I do like a scheduled live stream thing. I want to do like a certain day, certain time. It's not going to be 11:30 at night on a random Tuesday.
no,
That's
no,
not gonna be
no.
the case.
Today's a special day, but we have to get it done.
Yeah,
Because
no,
you have to get it done.
Right,
Like if you don't start,
if you don't have urgency, you're screwed.
you're screwed.
Yeah, urgency is everything in life.
We just came back from Walmart.
One of the most ghetto WalMarts ever, but
It's probably the worst Walmart in the country.
I don't like, but like the weird thing is during the day it's like a nice, beautiful place here in Lauderdale, but then at night
It gets cracking immediately.
Like GTA.
I know, like people walking down the street. Well, I don't know if I can tell it on camera because it's gonna get flagged, but I saw a crime happening down the street.
Oh yeah, that one will get flagged.
Yeah, that will get it flagged.
Yeah,
it wasn't pretty. And Vincent Oshana is watching live.
Oh shit! Hell yeah!
Look,
Vinny.
what was
so
what is
we'll have
live?
Vinny calling one of these days for sure.
We're gonna have him over here on the debrief, daily debrief.
Daily debrief. What do you guys think of that name? All the experiment right now.
Yeah, we're just doing it because we had to do
Had
it.
to do it, yeah.
Yeah, because we had a promise that we're gonna do it, and we're doing it.
100%.
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
So, you know, I used to do a lot of gambling in my day on sports and stuff, but the stuff that the headline that I saw from Ukraine today made me wonder, like, what the Vegas odds would be of Ukraine still being Ukraine at the end of the year.
I mean, Ukraine's been around for hundreds of years. I think.
Well, but it was part of the Soviet Union. Well, the Soviet Union was the thing.
Way before that.
Yeah, so it wasn't always Ukraine. It was like Russia for a good period of time.
It was part of the Russian.
Years ago.
The thing is that people don't understand about Europe that countries, as we see this country, like there's another thing there,
right?
You know,
yeah.
They're constantly shifting borders and this and that. Like for example, if you go to Germany, you have like 6 types of German.
Germany expanded and shrank like 5 times with all the wars.
Well, they
like it was like the entire continent during World War II one time, and then they
but same goes with Italy. Same goes with Spain.
Yeah.
Like for example, if
Japan, like going to all the Philippine islands and China and stuff.
Japan is different because Japan is contained within an island. You know, it's really hard to invade Japan.
Yeah,
and the people that are there is the people that is there.
Right.
But for example, Italy, you have the southern Italians.
Yeah.
They have nothing to do with like people up north.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah, no.
They look completely different. They have like almost a different dialect. You know, in the north of Italy, they speak Italian, they speak German.
Yeah.
They're super pale, like type of ski vibe.
It's kind of the same deal here. You know, think about like somebody in New York or Massachusetts for somebody in like Texas or Louisiana. You know, and like look at the college protests at like Columbia and Harvard versus the protests at University of Texas and Alabama. You know, it's a whole different vibe.
But that's a beautiful thing. That this country's diverse, not only in the kind of people that is there, but you have a mix everywhere. Like you can go to Ohio and you have a mix of people. They just think differently and they live differently. But
one much softer than the others.
You think they're softer?
In the Northeast?
Like New York, those guys are rough.
No, but like the people you hear from though, like it's like the snowflakey, extra liberal type of people.
Yeah, because those are the guys that make it to the news. Yeah. But if you're walking down the street, like you know, trucker guy in New York,
like the average New Yorker,
they're tough as nails.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You go there and fuck around too much.
Docks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with the Boston, but the people, and here in Miami is the same thing. I mean, you know, like every big urban city has that type of people. Like if you go to Dallas, certain places are unbearable. If you go to Miami, certain parts of Miami are unbearable. If you go anywhere, really, like in California, like if you leave Los Angeles, there's a bunch of really rural based
it's all
places.
Republican, yeah, aside from the city.
I know.
Yeah.
So I think cities are bad for your health. That's my take on it. But going back to
now go for it.
Going back to Ukraine.
Yeah.
I don't think Ukraine is going anywhere. I think it's gonna be smaller. The thing is you can't.
You gotta give up at least half of it.
Half? I don't think the Russians are interested in half of it.
They want the whole thing?
No, I think they're interested in very specific regions of Ukraine.
Yeah, but the West is acting like they're not gonna give anything up.
Well, they have to give everything. I mean, this is what pisses me off.
You have to think of the thing through the lens of the military-industrial complex.
But since day one, You just need to look at a map. You look at Russia, you look
Right.
at Ukraine. Who wins? Come on.
Yeah, of course.
Come on.
Right.
Like I can give a map to a kid, a 5-year-old kid,
Hmm.
and show them the two countries and go like, this country here is fighting with this country here. Who's gonna win?
Yeah.
Who's come on? Like
Right.
then what do you think? Because how does Ukraine winning looks like?
If we
No, but like how would it look like to them take back the
Oh,
Donbass
just
region?
pretty much like wearing Russia down to the point where they have no more fighting aged men and can kind of push them out of the areas they took.
That's a dirty win.
Yeah.
That's a messy
It's
win.
like giving up so much to take so little,
I know.
you know, and like what they're really fighting over is just like that little exposure to water that Russia wants, like where that little Crimea area.
Well, that Crimea area, like people
Crucial.
overlooked it, is crucial.
Yeah. It's like the only access Russia has to the water.
I know. Like it's not a joke.
No, that's everything.
Um,
But no, the thing is though that I mean it's funny, you get two totally different reports from people like Peter Zion says one thing saying that like, oh, Ukraine's doing so good, they had this attack and this attack the other day, and then the General McGregor that was on our show I think like a year ago at this time is constantly saying how bad Ukraine's doing and how much of a beast Russia is. And I mean, you do hear some stuff about how Russia somehow is like increasing their manufacturing output for their tanks and stuff, and they've gotten stronger somehow during this thing. And then how the West is out of like manufacturing capacity for its weapons, because you know you could print all the money in the world, but you can't build weapons at mass like that's the same pace at which you could produce money or print money.
Russia defeated Napoleon, defeated Hitler. Like
But that's when they were getting invaded, though. You know, like yes, Russia is the graveyard of armies when you try to invade Russia, but they're doing the invading here.
But I think this conflict, they still haven't called it a war till this day. They haven't declared. You know this, like
Oh, really?
war hasn't been declared.
Yeah, it's the conflict.
And if you look at the the press in Russia, like the media, they will still call it like a special operation, not a full-fledged war.
Right.
Actually, in the last 65 years, war declarations, people that actually declare war one country to each other, they're very rare.
Yeah. It's bad optics.
Yeah, it's about optics, and they don't declare war anymore.
Because then you could be tried by the international court and all that crap.
Like, to be really honest, same with the Israeli Hamas conflict. I'm a fence sitter in this as long as they don't send American troops there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, same here. I mean, I've like never necessarily felt passionately about one side of Israel and the Gaza thing. I mean, I think Hamas is like a little bit easier to be against than Palestine because, you know, they're like acknowledge themselves as a terrorist group and like they do some messed up stuff. But the whole Israel Gaza thing, like I have nothing to do with either of those countries. So like the fact that people are out there like taking passionate stances against Palestine or against Israel, it's funny, and it makes me think that people just have like a lack of like meaning and things to get worked up about.
Oh, they love it.
Yeah.
It was so funny last week.
Brainwashed like the shit that's going on.
Last week there was Eurovision. Have you heard about this?
Eurovision.
It's the most European thing. It's a musical contest. Listen, it's a musical contest where all European countries they pick a singer and or a band, and then they compete against each other. And then people with their phone they call in to vote for who's winning. It's ridiculous. What? Yeah, I know it's ridiculous. And this year it happened in Sweden. So they led, and I didn't know Israel was in Europe. No idea. I thought Israel was in the Middle East. Yeah, it's in the Middle East.
Is it?
But they let Israel in to compete this year, and everyone was up in arms. Like if you see the videos from the guys that were burning buses,
like Team Palestine.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's crazy.
Okay, and here's the crazy thing. Greta Thunberg. Like I think she ran out of causes, and she was there protesting the whole thing.
Come on.
Yeah, 100%. It's absolutely ridiculous.
No, she just gets like trucked around by the establishment.
But yeah, she does. And I think that the whole thing is just mean-spirited. Like they
well, no, it's propaganda and brainwashing. I mean, it's super effective too. Like the fact that you get people who've never thought about Palestine and Israel in their entire lives, like on campuses screaming, like laying out in tents, like painting themselves and shit and doing chants. Like that's straight up brainwashing at the highest level.
But that's why I can't even get mad at Greta.
Yeah, she must get hooked up for like the stuff that she. Yeah, she probably.
No, I think she's a tool. Like
yeah, she is. But
I heard she has like a slight autism.
Acoustic.
Yeah, slightly acoustic. Her parents, they pedal like energy efficient boats and things, and I don't know. I think
Dude.
she got pushed into it.
Like the second we start talking about energy, I mean, for those of you who don't know, so we have a video coming out tomorrow about this topic, and then there's a documentary called The Lost Century that came out a while ago. And
Tomorrow, Wednesday. Tomorrow's Tuesday.
Tomorrow's Tuesday. See, that's how screwed up we are right now.
So
Wednesday, we have this video
Wednesday,
coming
day
out
after tomorrow.
that's inspired largely by this documentary called The Lost Century, which talks about how, apparently there's infinite energy around us from the particles in the air. Tesla, the real Nikola Tesla, talked about this 100 years ago. And there's been a graveyard now of scientists or inventors who discovered this stuff over the last 100 years, and they've all died under mysterious circumstances. But basically, we have energy as abundant as air, and we could harness this energy around us that's like in the air at all times, and create fuel efficient vehicles, fuel efficient energy sources. They create water powered cars, this thing called that like violates the second law of thermodynamics. So the fact that we're still talking about our politicians saying, oh, we need to spend $200 trillion on, to reach net zero in the next 20 years. It's ridiculous. Can't take it seriously, because if you really want to reduce emissions, stop murdering people who create the technology to reduce emissions.
That's a good start. Solid start.
Yeah,
stop murdering people.
Murdering.
Yeah. Stop murdering inventors. They just start there.
Like, you want us to give up our entire way of living and stop eating meat and drive these shitty electric cars that keep breaking down, and like the Teslas lock people in them on update mode.
Yeah,
like, you want us to do all that shit, and you can't even stop murdering people who create the exact technology that you're wanting. Where you're pulling a video of them being locked in the car. Yeah. So I found this out the other day that apparently in update mode in Teslas, you get locked in the car, and I mean, this is mind blowing to me. But what like, how long are people getting locked in their cars for it?
This girl was locked in her car for like 40 minutes.
And it must cost like a couple grand to, like, if you break the window to get a new window. So you have to choose between being locked in your car.
I think if you break the window because you're locked in, they should pay for it.
Yeah, they have to, because that's insane.
I can't find the video here. Maybe it's in Twitter.
Shadow ban.
Twitter. Yeah,
but so something that we're going to talk about later on too, for sure, is that so I've been catching a lot of, or some degree of hate, because I think the audience I have on YouTube goes a little bit more right.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, boom. All right, stay tuned for that. Yeah, so check this out.
Let me see if it's gonna work.
So we have a window still. Do we?
Yeah, we do. Here it is.
So yeah, I've been catching some heat for my position on abortion that I argued with this girl who got pretty upset with me at on Adam's show the other day. But I'm gonna I haven't read the comments yet. People are telling me I'm catching heat. I'm gonna let Humberto read the comments, and
by the way, it's been updated.
Respond to them for the first time a bit later, and then me and Humberto are gonna go back and forth on that, because I think he disagrees with me and what my position is on abortion.
All right, let's
now let's naturally segue into the Tesla girl being locked in her Tesla from abortion.
This is so stupid.
Guys, I'm literally a moron. I'm a moron. Updating my car. By the way, it's been updating for the past 30 minutes. It says it's only supposed to chart or update.
Guys in the chat, if you can't hear it, just let us know. When
your car's updating, you are stuck in your car if you activate it when you're in here. So I did that, and now I'm stuck in my car, literally dripping sweat, like dripping sweat. And inside my car, it's 103 degrees. So I'm slightly freaking out. I hope I don't like run out of air. I can't open up the doors or the windows.
How's so chill about it?
Like, I could potentially damage my car. So I'm just
I'd be freaking out.
Really?
Roasting
really bad
like a freaking chicken and dripping sweat. And my Chick-fil-A order has been done for 30 minutes. I'm literally sitting outside.
And her Chick-fil-A order is
so. Yeah, I will be stuck in my car until further notice.
So that makes me think.
Guys, I'm literally a moron. I'm a moron.
You're a moron. That's already tell you're a moron.
Let's get that
out of the way.
Yeah.
Good that she knows. Good shit. She knows. I'm a moron. I'm literally a moron. You're a moron. You're stupid.
Just wasting words. But so that makes me think of, like, there's like a requirement in this Inflation Reduction Act that all new electric vehicles had to have like kill switches in them. Do you know about that?
kill switches inside the
to
car.
like turn off the car.
So
and
so
to
the
lock people
government,
out.
anyone, Tesla,
Yeah.
the hacker from
After
the
Inflation
neighborhood.
Reduction Act, like kill switches and be able to lock you out of the car.
Can you explain to me? You're an economics major, right?
No, I mean self-taught. I'm a national security major, but I get
You know
obsessed
about economics.
Yeah, I know about economics.
Okay,
Yeah.
can you pay me the? Can you explain to me how a kill switch in electric vehicles helps the economy? How does it reduce inflation? Just give it your best
All
try.
right, so the name of the Inflation Reduction Act is like the funniest thing ever, and the fact that like they had the audacity to call it that. So we have 10% inflation post COVID because we put like double the amount of money in the economy, and they say, all right, we put 6 trillion into the economy, we're going to put another 3 trillion in and call that the Inflation Reduction Act by like adding to the crazy amount of money that we put into the economy. So that's funny enough on its own. And then the electric car thing, I can't even like describe how much of a drag that is on economic productivity, because like, first of all, like there's a great, so can you pull up that chart I sent you? So there's this chart that shows all electric vehicle companies over the past 2 years and what their stock price has done.
Is it here in the
No,
document?
it's in Slack. So here's an example of Wall Street battling. Yeah, visual capitalist. Boom.
All right, let's pull it up. We're live, people.
So this
We're
is an
live.
example of Wall Street saying one thing and then the government saying another thing. So Wall Street saying loud and clear, like, all right, this is a garbage product. It's not going to work. It's not sustainable because of the fact that you could go, like 100 miles and you have to charge the battery. And if the battery dies or breaks, it's like the price of the car to replace the battery. So all these things started going down. And then you see people like the governor of Chicago, who's a billionaire himself, giving $1 billion to the company Rivian to try and prop it back up. So that's the battle that's going on now, is that Wall Street's saying no to this, but the government's trying to fight and keep it up. So that's what the taxpayer money is getting put after, is like a product service that's clearly failing. And, it's just an obscene waste of money, especially with the fact that, like I just said, we have people who created a car that could drive across the country on a gallon of water 30 years ago. We murdered him, or no, he died from food poisoning. He just like he sprung up as he was about to sell the company and said, "Oh, they got me." And then the autopsy said he died of a brain aneurysm. Not weird at all. But then, so it's 30 years ago, and then we're building these bullshit cars that could go 100 miles per charge, and you have to charge it for 2 hours.
How you're still getting to a point. How does a kill switch help the economy?
It helps nothing. It hurts everything.
Those bills, they're gone way too far.
Yeah.
They add whatever there.
Yeah.
It's just like
And they don't
freestyle.
even know what's in them.
We don't even know what's in
the size
them.
of a phone book. The Congress people don't read them. Lobbyists write them.
So they just let's slip this in. Let's see if it flies.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It probably says the wildest shit in there that you wouldn't even imagine.
So going back to the graph, they're all down except for Nicola,
yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that anomaly, but
I think I read about this, guys. I need to double check.
So we got a Tesla company and a Nikola company for EVs.
Obviously.
Let's look that up. I've never heard of that company before.
I think they do a conversion. They do a conversion kit.
Hydrogen fuel cell trucks.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so that's
what I'm talking about. Yeah. That's serious. Here in the show, we love hydrogen. Hydrogen is great.
I did love nuclear until I learned that there's something that's way better than it. Like, I mean, and I'm not the type to like. There's people out there who will
stick to their guns forever.
Know they're wrong about something, but then keep digging in, like Peter Schiff. But I'm not the type of person. Like, you look at all the stuff I've said in the last 2-3 years. I've been the biggest advocate for nuclear, but I could drop that in 2 seconds if a clear-cut case or something being better is pointed out. And nuclear seems ridiculous when you see what we're actually capable of doing if they don't murder the people who try to do it.
I mean, but as things stands, without having to reveal world-ending secrets, I'm still fond of nuclear. I think it's
yeah, but it takes a long time to build, and sure, there's somewhat of a problem with disposing of the stuff. I mean, the biggest question with the technology that's banned, which, by the way, there's literally an act. You can look up the 1951 Invention Secrecy Act, and there's a document that shows you can't build solar panels that are more than 20% efficient can't build any type of nuclear or any type of energy source that's better than 80 to 90% efficient. So basically putting a cap on how efficient your energy source could be. So how are we supposed to take anything seriously? And like, why would we like go through the process of like, what is it? It takes 10, 15 years sometimes to build nuclear.
Here it is. The 1951 Invention Secrecy Act
You know?
imposes secrecy orders on certain patent applications that contain sensitive information, thereby restricting disclosure of the invention and withholding the grant of a patent, and probably killing the inventor.
Yep. Especially killing the inventor.
So guys in the chat, if you're about to come up with something, just keep it on the DL, because inventions that can change the world are bad for your health.
Yes. Well, first and foremost, I mean, like, definitely watch that documentary, the Lost Century, and share that with everybody, because anybody who's like tried to create this stuff has gotten whacked. I think like the guy in the thing says the best way to do it, instead of trying to file a patent, you should just like open source it and make it available to everybody, the technology, so that, like everybody knows how to create it. I think the biggest question, I got some static from that.
It's in the headphones.
I think the biggest question, like with that whole stuff, is like, I get the threat to the economy of like if they're to release that stuff, but like the biggest thing is like, how do you like implement it without like screwing everything up? Because obviously the price of oil kind of, or at least the stock price of oil companies goes to zero automatically with like the future expectations of what their revenue is going to be. So you don't want like a destabilizing economic event where like a $4 trillion industry loses 90% of its value overnight if you announce this stuff exists.
But if it's something so big, the thing is, the market is the most beautiful thing.
Yeah, it fixes itself.
It fixes itself. And every time we try to put our hands in the market and try to mess with it, we mess it up.
Yeah. Well, we kind of have it, and like that's why like they say the whole too big to fail thing. That's because we've like babied like certain industries and certain parts of the market for so long that like it would like affect things outside of that industry. Like it's tied to people's retirement accounts and pension funds, and like military applications and technology.
I'm super against messing around with the market.
Yeah.
Because and I don't know, like I think this is not only with this like world-changing energy inventions. I think in general, even it's happening right now with AI. Like people are so set in their ways, how they do things. Like you and I, AI happened and we jumped head first.
Yeah.
We saw the tool. He's like, this is awesome. Let's learn how to use it and let's make stuff with it.
It's like seeing a car get invented and choosing just to like walk to work.
That's what it is. But most people are terrified of jumping in.
Yeah.
Like if they come up with something, I jump in head first, see how it goes.
Yeah, because you're left in the dust if you don't do it.
That's what it is. Like the thing is, I don't know. Imagine like before they came up with Photoshop or Premiere Pro or whatever, and people had to literally cut things and sketch things out. I don't know. Technology giveth, technology taketh away.
There you go.
And I don't know. I think we're too scared of rocking the boat. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see like how that would all play out if we let it hit the market at once. I mean, when I'm president and it's still not here, I think maybe like we'll slow walk it out, because it's a crime against humanity to not release the stuff. But I also get how disruptive it would be to the economy. I mean,
would you slow walk it out everything, or some things you will just release?
Because the problem becomes like how do people get around from point A to point B if like the oil companies?
Yeah, but for example, okay, that's one thing that
like
it's destructive. It's a big industry, whatever. We're talking about what, $3 trillion? $4 trillion. Okay, give you that. There's a lot of geopolitics involved with it.
The Middle East will be fine.
The Middle East will be done.
Yeah.
So I get it. Okay, that's one thing. But how about the cure for cancer? If it was in there, would you slow walk that and kill someone's grandma?
No, not at all. I would put that right out, because that's not even that big of an industry. People say 200 billion. That's a Ukraine package. Like let's put the cure out.
Let's put it out there. 200 billion is a lot of money, and it's
not in government
disgusting.
Not in government terms. They throw billions around like they're pancakes.
You know what the most offensive thing was about that package?
What?
That they did it right after tax week.
And how about the fact that
I find that disgusting. So like they're like, hey guys, give us your money. Okay, give us your money.
Ooh. You're free now.
You're free now. Those guys.
And then
Unbelievable.
to make it more audacious, that bill was started by calling it the border security bill.
I know.
And then it was everything but the border security part. Like it was
What
supposed to be-
border?
yeah, it was supposed to be 20 billion for the border, and they just cut that part out and did everything else.
So they cut every single cent and penny from the border.
Yeah,
They cut everything
for the
out.
Border.
Oh wow. These
Yeah.
guys, they're unbelievable.
Yeah,
They're unbelievable. We had Vivek Ramaswamy come in today.
I know. I love him. He's such a stud.
He is a stud.
Yeah,
And he's all in for draining the swamp.
yeah, I know. And I mean, I think the biggest way to drain the swamp is to make sure over the next 5, 10, 15 years, we have to like pack the Senate and Congress with good, solid patriots, because the president has to get their cabinet members approved by the Senate, which could be a disaster if you pick actually based people to be in your cabinet.
Well, there is no election small enough to not matter. Everything. Like we've seen like havoc all over this country by the DAs,
Yeah.
elected by a
There's
guy.
a reason Soros funds them.
Yeah,
He knows the
'cause-
impact
'cause-
they have.
Because in the grand scheme of thing, like you go like, okay, my local DA, whatever.
Mm,
It's whatever.
it's not whatever.
It's not whatever.
Mm-mm.
So from school council all the way to being president,
Yeah.
every little thing counts. I don't know if you're up to date with the whole El Salvador deal.
I know that he cleaned house and
He cleaned house,
it's crime free now, pretty much.
but they packed the house with guys that allowed him to do that.
So how they
'Cause
do it?
They won elections fair and square.
Yeah.
They started getting spots. They put this guy in, and that's that.
Mhm.
Like right now, if a patriot, if a guy that actually cared got into office right now with the house how it stands, and I'm not talking left and right, I'm talking about
Yeah, anybody.
anybody. I'm talking about like deep establishment guys.
Yeah.
And
there's
there's like-
non-establishment people from both sides.
Yeah, there's non-establishment people from both sides. Like
Mhm.
there's probably like 4 or 5 in the left, and there's probably like 6 in the right.
Right, yeah. something
But you
like
get a
that.
total of 10 guys there that have their own agenda.
Yeah. But they'd be fighting Congress the whole time with the way it stands right now, which
They-
is what Trump was doing for the big majority of his time when he
They-
was in.
They can't do anything.
Yeah.
So I think for this type of change, you do need to have a House majority. But it doesn't matter like the political party of the majority. It matters the
Just outside the swamp, outside the
outside
establishment.
the establishment, people that are not they're not being cut a paycheck every month.
Yeah.
It's so difficult, so you can't even tell.
And lobbying should probably be illegal.
That's a funny one.
Why?
Because it's a funny one. Because in Australia, there's a lot of spiders,
Oh,
and you know what the worst spider is?
what?
The one that you don't see. That's the one that gets you.
Oof.
So seeing lobbyists there on the open is
Mhm.
disgusting. But at least I know the guys and I know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Imagine if this had to be covered up.
But then it would be illegal, and like they'd be more afraid and potentially more apprehensive of doing that,
You think they're afraid of anything?
since the people who make the laws. Maybe not.
Have you
I,
seen
they do
any?
get away with everything.
They could get away with everything all the time.
Like
Like
the guy who has-
you were just talking that there is some type of energy they would just grab from the air,
Yep.
and they're not releasing it. You think they will be scared of a lobbying law? Like, come on, Brandon.
And then you got the guy who had like his suits were all laced with gold bricks that he was like doing.
What happened to that guy? I
Nothing.
remember
Hey,
nothing.
nothing. They
He's still
totally
there.
Forgot about it. Yeah.
He's still there.
Pretty
Just
sure. Yeah. Unbelievable.
it's unbelievable. But I think people lose track of these things too fast.
Well, because it's like information overload. And, like that's much more powerful than censorship. Because like you know how big of a deal it would have been in the 60s.
Wait, so the gold guy, nothing.
Let me double check.
Can you?
I don't remember hearing it. Like I remember it happened. He said, "I'm not going anywhere," and they were acting like they were going to do something about it. And I didn't hear anything else. Gold guy, Congress.
I'm gonna check the chat a little bit.
What we got? Any action or everybody sleeping?
Let me see. We have the maestro. This is my first time tuning in. to one of your stream. What's been going on so far?
We're talking a little bit of everything, a little bit of
we're
life.
jumping
We're
around.
talking about the systematic problems of Congress, how they have allegedly likely murdered people who have created the answer to all of our problems.
By the way, you bought those energy drinks. They're just sitting there getting warm.
Just like the patents in the government's office.
They are. Is it too
it's
savage?
Symbolic of it.
Is it too savage to have one of them right now?
No. Gold bars featured in Bob Menendez's bribery case linked to 2013 robbery. So yeah, there's nothing about him stepping down. It's all just stuff that like the headlines are from like when it happened, nothing after that. So I'm gonna see. Let's see. Bob Menendez.
Not longer useful.
Yeah, no, like his corruption trial begins, but he's still in the Senate.
Unbelievable. I'm gonna check this other thing out.
It's an insider trade. Get to accept gold bricks for foreign policy favors.
The gold brick thing is funny. Because it's kind of creative. I mean, come on, let the guy go. It's okay.
Yeah,
but
it's like trading deals for that.
But Nancy Pelosi.
That's the one I'm kind of jealous of.
Yeah.
Like you arrest people for like overhearing something and then like making a trade on it, but you like create the laws that pumps money into a certain industry and then you like front run the money that goes into that industry.
Sometimes I wonder, is there like Nancy Pelosi fans?
There's a whole page that tracks her stock picks.
No, I know that.
People that like her.
Yeah. How does she get elected?
It's the people that are like really like the people who go out and protest for Palestine and lay in the tents and stuff. It's like those type of people.
No, actually, Biden is really worried about that because that type of people is over it.
They're over?
They're over it.
No,
they call him Genocide Joe. That started from the left.
Yeah. Well, that's the interesting thing is like they're kind of like infighting now with like there's like factions of the.
Oh, there's so many factions inside.
Yeah, like oh, you know, like support Palestine, like there's an illegal occupation, colonialism, but then like, oh, you're anti-Semitic if you're on Palestine's side. So it's like, like I can't virtue signal in all directions. I
can't believe it's such a big issue. Like it's such a small country in the Middle East that nobody knows about.
Nobody's even thought about.
Here's a crypto carpenter with an answer. He's like, all the people that like, Pelosi, they're probably buried.
The people that like her are probably buried.
They're probably buried.
I could see that.
Is she going for another term or this it?
I heard she was like potentially even a Speaker of the House, but I feel like she's gonna be like the lady who was late, Dianne Feinstein. She's gonna be like a Dianne Feinstein. She's just gonna die in the Senate someday.
This is gonna sound horrible, but she didn't even die there. She's like it's kind of rotted away.
Yeah,
for years. Like you see her like Jesus. Glitching out. Actually, I think it was her daughter that used to have to vote for her.
Really?
Yeah.
That's twisted.
It is twisted. They will just will her in.
And same thing with Fetterman. You know, he was like unconscious for a few weeks, and then like his wife was just throwing up votes for him.
Everyone is too old. That's the problem. Everyone is too old.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some type of limits and stuff. But
term limits.
Real quick, guys, if you disagree with anything me and Humberto say or want to ask us anything personally, we're both on Minnect, both crushing it on there. We're in the competition to try to win our weight classes.
Yeah, I'm a lightweight in the lightweight class.
I think I'm a middleweight, but yeah, definitely come on over and any questions you have about content creation, research, anything you want to debate on, anything you want to ask me about what I want to do, why I want to be president someday, whatever, what's like working at Valuetainment, how I got my job there, which is a funny, crazy story. If you're looking to work there, I can give you some advice on what characteristics it is.
We're going to tell the story at 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah, exactly.
For free. But now you can pay for it.
But yeah, so check that out over there. We're both on Minnect. And all right, so you want to get into like the stuff that I'm catching heat for? You want to read the comments that?
All right, let's find them.
Want me to send it to you? Or
send it to me.
Okay, I haven't read these comments yet, but people said I'm catching
heat. Brandon's sending them. I'm gonna go get a refreshment because we're live, people. We're live. We're late. We're live.
No, but Not everybody out there would just go out and stream at 11:30 at night. I haven't seen that happen too many times, so I think we get points for that. No?
We do get points for that. You want anything to drink?
Yeah, that monster that we got. Let's do that.
I'm gonna have a LaCroix.
LaCroix. Then
I'm gonna bring the
see.
whole bag. Forget them.
So I think we're gonna disagree on what I said, which is nice because I debated this chick the other day, and that's what the root of
This
all
one
this
here?
is. Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Thank you.
By the way, we're not sponsored
No.
yet.
All right, 44 comments. I bet a bunch of them are hateful. So here you go. I haven't looked at a single one.
You haven't looked at a single one.
No, but people are telling me they're nasty, so
I like it.
no, but I'm ready though. Like I fully believe in what I said. I feel like I have a good reason for it. But conservatives don't seem to like it. And listening to me speak, you might think I'm a conservative because I love Trump, respect the hell out of him, but not a conservative thing at all. That's just like a rebel attitude type of thing. But you got it. I slacked it to you.
All right.
So should we play it quick or?
Yeah, we should play it quick so they get your full take on it.
All right.
And they can make their own mind and leave hateful comments on it too.
Yeah, don't hold back.
Don't hold back. We're gonna go
Share video mode.
share screen. Here we go.
Boom.
Never death. It is never death.
Nope.
What about the situation where it said something a few weeks ago? He said the abortion thing should be 4 months. I think anybody who thinks that it should never be okay under any circumstances, I think that's psychotic.
The answer is never death. It is never death.
Nope.
What about the situation where somebody who's just getting by on money and they have the situation where the kid might have this debilitating disease where it's going to cost thousands of dollars over the course of their life to maintain their health?
It's still not okay to kill the kid. It's the things that you're
According
saying.
to who, though? Like, just your opinion?
According
Why
to
can't the parents decide
murder.
that?
According to murder. Brandon, you're saying that it's okay because the kid might have a not ideal life, which again, they could
I love her, by
overcome
the
these
way.
circumstances. If murder is wrong, it's
Wrong.
always
We don't.
It's
wrong.
wrong.
There's
100%.
150 million orphans in the world, and a lot of people who are terrible parents are having kids. Why
I
not
don't
get
agree with that. I don't want people to open their legs and get pregnant. This is the problem.
We have
Yeah,
a
but
morality
it's still
problem.
We have a
happening, though.
morality problem.
Trump came out and said something a few weeks ago. He
All right,
said the
sweet.
abortion
All
thing
right,
should be
close it
4
out.
months. I
Close-
think
no, I'm
anybody who
gonna
thinks
keep
that
it there.
Oh, right, the comments.
Yeah, and I'm gonna read the comments. I'm gonna keep it looping so they can see your beautiful face just going
Nice.
around. The comments.
Let's see it.
People be murdering their offspring for hundreds of years, but that doesn't make it right. I mean, this guy.
Yeah, listen. So first and foremost, hate abortion. It's a disgusting thing. Anytime I hear about it, I'm saddened by it because it's disgusting, awful, evil thing, and people are too reckless with having unprotected sex and having kids back soon. But I think it's the greater of two evils to tell somebody that they can't have an abortion, just under any circumstances, just flatly create a law where nobody could do it. Because one, I don't think that people who are going to be bad parents who don't want to have a kid should be forced to have kids, because we have 40% of the country today fatherless home, and fatherless homes immensely more likely to create people who are not necessarily great characters in society. And there's 150 million orphans in the world. So people say, oh, give them up for adoption if you don't want them. That's not a rock solid argument either. So let's keep it going.
Wrong is wrong. There's no gray area, period. I love when people write out period.
Yeah.
That the trivial of immorality manifests as a confusion is nothing less than diabolical disorientation. Sin blinds the intellect and wisdom dies. Jesus, he got real biblical.
Yeah. Wow.
Don't want to have a baby, don't do a deed. Plain and simple. That's what it is.
Oh yeah. Just no problem. Just don't have sex.
It's always wrong. Wash hands 100%. Ben Mooney's 11 goes like, this woman is incredible, speaking truth.
Okay.
This I must agree with Ben.
Yeah, she was well spoken.
She well spoken, and she's an incredible woman, businesswoman. They have a really nice Cuban restaurant here in Fort Lauderdale. Super hardworking, Um,
Yeah, I have nothing negative to say about her. We just
Laura,
disagree on
and
this.
she has a moral compass. Laura Padrina, she's great. Here it is. Then Sue 5U. They have such weird names. So it's better to be murdered than become an orphan and not giving a chance to make the same decisions that he makes lately. There's also been many instances where a doctor told a woman, a pregnant woman, that her child had
Severe life-threatening.
severe but severe
Mm.
issues and will not live. Too long, didn't read. Good on her for holding the line. What else? Fix the economy, fix the orphanage criteria, fix the morality, fix illegal immigration, prevent extinctions of human beings, and most of all, fix this country. I like this guy. Let's go. My dog was suffering from inoperable cancer and had to be euthanized. The vet gave him a sedative that makes him asleep, comfortable, and free from pain before administering the lethal drugs that stop his breathing. He then ripped the dog's limb off with a suction machine like an abortion procedure, which makes no attempt to put the baby out of pain before ripping into pieces. That's a good point.
Yeah.
They already give this option to mothers when tests are done and come back with Down syndrome. Unfortunately, it's always wrong. So I think the comments they have spoken, Brandon, this is very liberal of you. I'm disappointed.
Who was that? Who was that one?
Karen Walker.
Hmm.
If you and your partner, I hate the word partner.
Yeah, it makes it sound kind of gay.
Yeah, pick a flag. If you and your girlfriend can figure out things the first week or so after a good time or lack of judgment, what to do even if you might not be, still steps to take. So basically, all 44 comments, they all hate you
Yeah, I expected that.
and they hate your take. And I told you before posting that's a bad take.
Oh, it's a bad take for the I guess demographics that make up my subscribers and audience. But I'm not somebody to shy away from an opinion because I feel that the people that watch what I put out are going to disagree with it. And I've always held that position where it's like, yeah, that guy's right. It's like a brutal, gross, disgusting thing for an abortion to get done, but I think you're doing more damage to society when you say that it's never okay to have an abortion done versus saying there's some exceptions to it, because people are still going to try to do it even if you say it's illegal, and that's why there's all that crazy nasty
People still
stuff
gonna try
out
to
there.
do meth even if that's illegal. It would kill you.
I know, but people are thinking about the desperate, brutal situation that somebody who's like a 19-year-old chick with no money, gets knocked up by a dude who's just hit and quit type of situation. The dude's not in the picture anymore. She's freaking out, doesn't want to tell her parents, and doesn't have medical access to getting an abortion. That's a crazy, brutal situation where you want her operating on herself to try to alleviate the situation.
But
Felt kind of bad to say alleviate the situation there.
I think you're operating because modern feminism and
don't group me in with that.
well, yeah, no, it is what it is, and
I
this
hate
this
feminists.
this crazy conception of I'm first, I'm second, I'm third. They make it seem as having a baby will ruin your life. And that 19-year-old that was making bad decisions, if she has to stick with the baby, she will need to figure a lot of things out. And it might fix her life having to take care of a baby. Because Brandon, what's the plan? Okay, she gets rid of the baby, abortion, whatever. You think she's gonna learn anything from an abortion? You think she's not gonna go the day after to look?
In pain for the rest of her life for having to do that.
Do you think she's not gonna go chase after the next dude? Most likely, back to
She's
drugs.
gonna
But
take her sex life more seriously if she had to do that.
but I think being a parent is a life-changing experience. And most people, my friends are having babies now. Some people that I really didn't like because I thought they were very selfish, they were stupid. And some of them had babies, not planned babies. They just had babies because it happened. They grown a lot, and they wouldn't change it for anything, you know. So I mean, I'm 100% giving life a chance under any circumstance. Um, and I don't know. Like, I do think there's ways to fix this. Like, for example, if you're a father, because I think fatherless kids are the biggest pandemic that we're having right now, and they're most of the criminals is the worst.
Yeah.
They part of the reason that inflation is here and we're paying the taxes we're paying is because the state has to take the role of fatherhood for
Because they start rewarding women for
For-
getting pregnant out of wedlock.
yeah. So
Thanks, LBJ.
so I think what I would do, I will make it illegal to not be a father.
So what you're saying, like if you get somebody pregnant, you'd make it illegal to not like be a father in that household?
Yeah.
What if somebody tricks you into getting them pregnant?
That the thing is that's the way liberals do it. They find very niche, like very unlikely or very small segments to find, like, the rules is not made by the exceptions. Okay. I mean,
Well, it's like the same thing with the when I was in that debate, they were saying like, oh yeah, but a lot of people that come from fatherless homes are like inspiring, and they do great things, and the same thing, those are also outliers. And a
well,
lot
and as any crime, you will be judged by a jury of peers, and if you can prove that you were tricked into it, good for you, you're out. Like any crime, even murder, like actual murder, you can get out if you have a good defense. But most guys that were reckless and did this, because this will fix more problems. Maybe one or two guys will get fucked over by this, but you're not killing them, or you're not really punishing them. Like, having a kid in your life is not a punishment.
no, it's a responsibility.
It's a responsibility, but it's not a punishment. That kid will make you
No, it's
smile,
a
will make me
blessing.
happy. It is a blessing. It's not a punishment. So I will do this. I'd be like, okay, you can either take 18 years of jail, 18 years of prison, or 18 years raising a kid. Plain and simple. You choose. Anyone can choose.
Yeah, and that's
And
obviously
I think
extreme.
guys will take this a lot more seriously.
Yeah, but I mean, like, why is it that people feel that they have the right to infringe on other people's life and decisions with what they do with the course of their life?
Because the thing is, from the libertarian perspective, I'm not even coming towards this subject from like a conservative perspective. I think the only property that we have that is for sure is our body.
Mhm.
Everyone, from the poorest kid in Southeast Asia to the richest man, the only property that you really have is your body.
Yeah.
Okay. So the government or anyone coming in and stealing your property, that is your body,
Yeah.
I am against that.
Right.
'Cause
Which is
that's-
to a degree what they're doing if they're telling you cannot get this done.
No, because I mean, the jury's still out when life starts. Okay. But I think that life legally has ownership of their cells as they start.
How soon? Right off the bat?
Right off the bat. That those are not longer her cells. That's just a new entity.
So you're saying there's no exceptions under any circumstances?
Because even if there is like grape or other type of juices, even
Or
if there
health issues where
or health issues or whatever, like, I don't think it's up for us to decide this.
Yeah, no, I don't feel that's up for the masses to decide what people do individually. Like if, like, yeah, it's objectively like bad. You could even say evil thing to get an abortion done in some situations, especially if you're doing it frivolously. But that person has to live with it.
But the thing is, I hate uncertainty. Like, I like to be certain in certain type of things. Like, for example, if I'm parachuting or like skydiving, I want to be certain that the thing is going to open. You know, when it's a life and death situation, if they tell me, okay, from month 3 onwards, the baby doesn't feel anything and it's not a different legal entity than the mother,
Mhm.
and if they show proof, I'm like, okay. But now that it's wishy-washy, like how far in a pregnancy, you have another person inside of you, because legally I care about people, you
Yeah.
know.
Mhm.
So because it wouldn't have a hard stop,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, no, there should be a hard stop. That's why I say 3 or 4 months should be the hard stop, if anything. But I think
But
this 6 weeks is
that's-
crazy.
that's-
You don't even know you're pregnant in 6 weeks.
Yeah, but how about if the baby knows that it exists?
I don't think that it has consciousness at that point.
But do you think consciousness, like, do you believe in souls? Do you
Yeah,
have a
big
soul
time.
inside of you?
Big time.
So when does the soul start?
I think you could make an argument that starts right away, but I also think that you can make
And-
an argument that souls, don't go away like once they're killed. I think, like, I believe in reincarnation. There's overwhelming evidence of that.
Look, this guy in the comments. I'm adopting from the Philippines. Hopefully by June, I spend almost $20,000. Adoption is political, of course.
Yeah, why is it so difficult to adopt? That's a good question that I've always wondered about.
Because, Brandon, we talk about the things all the time. There's always someone that has an incentive. Okay, the people that have the abortion clinics are making a killing. The people that are making the pills for abortions are making a killing.
Mm-hmm.
The politicians that promote abortion are making a killing.
And the depopulation agenda too.
You have the depopulation agenda. So all the incentives are there in place for adoption. There's a really good solution for this to be out of the question.
And I agree that the whole what was it, Lyndon B. Johnson civil service thing, where he basically started rewarding women for getting pregnant out of wedlock. I think that was to some degree intended to destroy the family unit, because you give women the access to birth control, you give them money to a degree. If they get pregnant outside of wedlock, then what's that going to do? It's going to make them feel like they don't need a guy. Like, they could be kind of flippant with hooking up with people, and then also they could get rewarded financially, be in a better financial situation if they get pregnant outside marriage than pregnant inside marriage.
That's what it is. That's what it is. So I think the incentives to kill or to commit abortion, they're much higher and more clear than to keep a kid.
So here's the thing, here's part of my argument too, is that, like, I don't think that women especially would be so, like, open and, like, welcoming and fighting for it if there wasn't such an opposition on the other side that was trying to stop it by all means. Because the reason that there's women out there who say, like, oh yeah, I should be able to do it up until the last trimester, it's because there's people out there who say it should never be okay under any circumstances.
But the thing is, I think all this is very theoretical. Getting pregnant is incredibly difficult. It's not easy.
Yeah, some people would say otherwise.
That it's easy to get pregnant.
Yeah,
I don't know. People
why
get.
does it happen accidentally so frequently?
But the thing is, at the end of the day, I love this country. I think we need more Americans, and I think if we can figure out,
Families.
we need more
solid family units,
more American families
less single parent households
with American kids, and I think if we can figure out a way to get these kids to have a family, like, I think that's the first.
I'd say starting now, if you're part of the system where you get financially rewarded to have a kid outside wedlock, whatever, fine, your grandfather in, because we're not trying to, like, pull the rug out from somebody who had an expectation, but, like, starting now, like, end that shit where if you get pregnant outside wedlock, like, the meal ticket's over. You're not on that gravy train anymore where you start getting money if you're pregnant outside wedlock. So massively deter that behavior.
It's a whole business structure. Like, there's a women that have 10 baby daddies, 10 babies, and they keep on getting that check. I don't know, Brandon. Like, I still stand by we need to try to save life as much as possible, and I'm very uncomfortable with having that blurred line thing. If someone came up to me with the right information, like, okay, this starts here, souls come in in the second week, so you can have the first 2 weeks to have an abortion. Like I'd be down with it. But right now that nobody has a clear answer, and as a God-fearing man, I don't think we're in the position to kill anything.
Well, do you believe that the soul dies when the person dies? Or do you believe the soul goes to the afterlife or potentially somewhere else when the body dies?
Well, Christian doctrine dictates that if they die in the womb and whatever, you still need to baptize them, Christian them, for their soul to go to heaven because of the original sin.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think ladies that are willing to, kill a baby the first 3 weeks are going to do that. So I think they're also dooming the souls of the babies.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never heard that take before, but I mean, listen, if anybody comes up to me asking if I think they should abort a healthy baby, like I would say hell no, because the thought of it's appalling to me. Like babies are the cutest, most beautiful things ever, and I can't wait to have kids someday. But I just feel like it's like such a broad, closed-ended thing to say, like never any exceptions under any circumstances. I feel like that's just a short-sighted, dangerous approach to take on a national level.
I don't know. I think we're not going to agree on this one.
Yeah.
And I think it's the chat is with me.
I know they are. That's a conservative chat. And I mean, hey, I'm no liberal, but never claimed to be conservative either, because I think both sides are too fervent in their beliefs on each thing.
Like, I think if
Trump's coming around too, Trump said the same thing that I'm saying the other day, which I think it's good that he's doing that, because you ask the majority of women in this country, and even if you take a national poll, like 70% of the country agrees with what I'm saying, and like 90% of women agree with what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I have a problem with I have a problem with single issue voters. Whatever it is, if you're voting because you want abortion, or if you're voting because you're a blue man and you want more blue man rights, or if you're missing a leg and you want more rights for your leg missing, if you have a single issue and you just vote on a single issue, you're trash.
Yeah.
And you're selfish. And all these women are trash and they're selfish because they're willing to give up the economy. They're willing to to start new wars. They're willing.
It's stupid when you ask them what they care most about.
Because the thing is, they're so selfish to come to abort a baby. Most of the time, not the exceptions that you're telling me, rape or whatever, this and that. Most of the time, it's for very selfish reasons. Like, I want to go to school and I want to run my life and whatever. I want to travel. Yeah. So most of the time are very selfish reasons.
Yeah, that's shitty.
And shitty and selfish. And this shitty and selfish reasons, they keep on expanding. They're shitty and selfish about their body. They're shitty and selfish about their community. They're shitty and selfish about war. Like, most of the guys that are pro-abortion are pro-war. So
is that right?
Yeah, obviously. Like, the left has put this country to more wars than anyone else. And this wishy-washy, rhino Republicans that are conservative, but they still allow abortion, they put us into war. So they're not only voting to be able to kill themselves, they're voting for more death. They're voting for dead babies in the Middle East, dead babies in Asia, dead babies here, dead babies there. So it keeps on piling up. It's like a snowball effect. If you're willing to, decide the fate of a whole country, 300 million people, on what you want to do, in the theoretical event that you get an unwanted pregnancy, you're a shitty person. That's what it is. And I just want people to be honest about it, because this is two things. It's either killing a baby or not killing a baby. That's a discussion. If you're for killing babies, good for you, but just be honest about it. Morally, I have no problem in killing a baby. That's it.
Yeah.
I will judge you less than, for example, they use pro-choice instead of pro-abortion.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Just if you're for killing babies, just say it. That's just what it is.
No, I'm not for killing babies. I'm just in favor of like not being so black and white on an issue, especially one that is like so many factors into it. And if I had to like give me the vast majority of situations.
But
I'm on
but
your
but
side,
but the thing is, like, if you truly believe that that's a baby, and you truly believe they're killing a baby, this is very black and white. It's very black and white.
yeah,
Like, if you, in your heart and your soul, you believe, like, you can't be chill. Like, if you think they're killing a baby, you can't be chill about it. You're black and white. Like, you're
there's a
against killing
difference-
babies.
There's a difference between like a month in, a few weeks in versus
Yeah,
like
but
developmental.
for people that believe that life starts at conception, you're killing a soul. You're killing a being, and you can't ask them to be chill about it.
Yeah, but if you take that to its true extent, then I look at things in where's the least amount of people get hurt, and if abortion's never allowed under any circumstances, then you have double the amount of single parent homes, double the amount of kids who are end up being criminals because they don't have a father in the household, and then how many more people get hurt because of that?
At the end of the day, like, this is not our issue. Like, I think they should just chill it down, and then once we get some power, we should go back to it and just cancel everything. We are 1 hour in.
Yeah, since it's what is it, 12:30?
Yeah,
I think that was a pretty good round one.
and we did it.
Yeah.
We did it. I'm so
Shit.
proud. It
So-
was very difficult.
And a nice light topic. Right.
A nice. You always want to talk about abortion before you go to bed. That's what I do every night.
But we'll establish a schedule where we do this like 2 or 3 times a week.
I'm so glad that we were able to do this. That's it.
I know the Vegas odds on the prospect of us doing it tonight were like minus 5,000 or no plus 5,000 at one point.
But we pushed through, and
Yeah.
and we need to get something for the wall in the back. Get
Yeah.
2 cameras working. But we're live. We're here.
Yeah, we're coming along.
Yeah.
And, we'll establish days and times per week, and then get this thing going.
Remember to Minnect Brandon Aceto. Link in
Yep.
the description.
Yep, and Minnect, this guy here too. He knows a lot about all the technicals of everything to do with podcasting and studio setup.
But you know what I'm the best at?
What?
Life decisions.
Think so?
I'm a very black and white guy. I might guide you to make a really bad decision, but you'll be so sure about it.
Conviction.
Conviction, you know. So that,
Consult him for conviction.
yeah,
Consult me if you want to debate.
yeah. Consult me for black and white answers. That's what I do.
Respect.
So yeah, let's call this a wrap,
Yeah.
right?
All right. Well, thank you all. Good night, and we'll post and announce when we're gonna do the next one. It's gonna be a weekly thing. Like I said, set date, set time going forward. So look forward to getting that going. Keep the momentum strong. Stay tuned. God bless.
Bye.